There are 9 second passports available for sale globally, so which is the best one to go for? In this video, I'll provide a comprehensive overview of the 9 second passport options available globally and help you identify which one might be the best for you. Before I dive in, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Niall. I've been working in the citizenship and residency by investment industry for around 5 years now, guiding over 30 families with attaining a new passport or residency scheme, with over 20 million invested in various programs. Let's dive in. Firstly, it's important to distinguish between residency by investment programs and second passport programs. The former, residency by investment, can offer a route to a passport, but usually starts with residency, leading to a passport after a few years. What we're focusing on today are second passports you can buy and receive within your hand within 12 months. The type of individual or family I typically see pursuing this route are those from countries with large geopolitical pressures and would like an escape plan, such as war-torn countries. I also see business people and high-earning professionals who face visa restrictions with their current passport and would like a travel document to conduct business or work. And of course, there's those who are concerned with the trajectory of their country and would urgently like a credible plan B for themselves and their families. If you fit into any of those categories I've just described, I can immediately say with quite a high degree of confidence that one of the 5 Caribbean schemes would most likely be the best route. However, there are exceptions, so I will start by covering the 4 other second passport schemes outside of the Caribbean. The best scheme out of all 9 would be Malta. Malta is a fully fledged member of the European Union. It's ranked in the top 10 for passport strength globally, and it's processed within 15 months. The only small issue is it's a large donation and investment, which can cost over $1 million, which practically makes it inaccessible for most. On the opposite end of the spectrum, which is the lowest costing, you have 2 schemes in the oceanic region, Nauru and Vanuatu, which both have very low entry points of $105,000 and $130,000 respectively. Vanuatu was extremely popular up until it lost its visa-free access in the UK and EU in 2023. The major plus for Vanuatu in its defense is that it has the lowest screening process and the quickest processing time in the world. So this means you can receive your passport within 3 months. The Nauru scheme is fairly similar to the Vanuatu scheme, with the key difference being it's $25,000 cheaper and a lot newer. It only launched 2 months ago in November 2024. So given it's in its embryonic stages, I'd certainly tread carefully if you're pursuing that route, as I've seen many schemes start and many schemes fail with a very short shelf life. So personally, I'd wait another 12 months or so to see how that scheme is performing, and I'd want to see it build a track record before considering it as a valid option. Another scheme to consider could be Turkey. It's a $400,000 investment, has very minimal restrictions on which nationalities can apply, and in my view, it's just a great place to live. The main drawback of the scheme is that the passport isn't too strong. There's no visa-free access to many of the Western countries, so I would only consider that route if it's a place you could truly see yourself living in. That now leaves us with the 5 passports of the Caribbean, the famous 5 of Antigua, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts, and St. Lucia. The reason why at the start of the video I said that at least one of the 5 Caribbean schemes would be suitable for most people is that compared to Turkey and Malta, they are available at a more accessible price. And in comparison to Vanuatu and Nauru, the Caribbean schemes have visa-free access to countries such as the UK, the EU, Hong Kong, and Singapore, and they offer much smoother access to countries that do require a visa, such as the USA. Now, depending on which scheme you select, you can typically expect to donate somewhere in the region of $200,000 to $250,000 and receive a passport within 6 to 14 months. To highlight the marginal differences between the schemes, Dominica is the lowest priced at $200,000, but it doesn't have visa-free access to the United Kingdom, where the other 4 do. However, in its defense, it has the fastest processing time, which is currently around 6.5 months. The scheme with the longest processing time at the moment is St. Lucia, which takes about 14 months, and the situation doesn't seem to be improving. So if you're going to go down the Caribbean scheme route, the factors when deciding which one to choose from would depend on which family members you want to include, which countries are important for you to travel to, and how fast you want the passport. But setting aside these variables, all 5 are very well established, with the oldest being since 1980s, St. Kitts, and the newest nearing a decade. So to me, this shows longevity and reliability. All 5 schemes, I must emphasize, are multi-generational and irrevocable. So that means it can be left to your children and your grandchildren and so on and so forth without it ever being removed. What I particularly like about all 5 schemes is every scheme conducts enhanced due diligence, which reassures other countries and ensures visa-free access is maintained in places like the UK and EU. So if we compare that to Vanuatu, which established around 2017, it was performing very well, had a lot of popularity, but the UK and the EU didn't really like their screening process, so revoked visa-free access. I can't envisage that ever happening with any of the 5 schemes, especially with the enhanced due diligence we've seen over the last year or two. Now, before I wrap up, I'll mention a few other schemes on the horizon. There's the Solomon Islands, which will be launching at some point within 2025. But again, with a new scheme, I'd want to see how that looks in 26, 27 and beyond before considering it. And there are a couple of unofficial routes for Venezuela and Mexico. But of course, given it's unofficial, I'd approach very carefully due to the potential legal and regulatory risks. So that's pretty much it from me. The first step, I would say, is assessing your budget, determining how soon you require a passport, which countries you'd like to travel to, and which family members you'd like to include. If you'd value guidance on navigating which passport scheme might be right for you, feel free to contact me. My details are on the screen. For those of you who are new to my channel and have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. And finally, I did mention residency-by-investment schemes earlier. If you're interested in learning how to obtain a European passport via the residency route, feel free to check out my video on the Portugal Golden Visa. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.